everyone, and welcome to Your Broker Admin, where we share relevant updates, experiences, and ideas that help you deal with those everyday challenges. Whether you're in a support role or a solo broker newish to the industry, we're here to make your life that little bit easier. So here we are, episode 52 of Your Broker Admin. On this day, 19th of November, Abraham Lincoln delivered the Gettysburg Address, one of the most iconic speeches in history. 2 minutes long, no slides, no acronyms, no just circling back emails. Yet it still lives rent-free in the collective brain. There's a lesson in that somewhere for lenders and their platform designers. Speaking of which, this week's Humpday Helper number 159 brings a lovely assortment of Quirks from NAB, Bankwest and Macquarie. The type that make you question both product testing and human civilisation. Policies change, platforms evolve, but the national sport of workarounds continues. Then we'll head into the reviews wrap-up and check the outcomes from loan reviews completed during the week ending the 14th of November 2025. Because persistence is still a business strategy, even when the banks play harder to get than concert tickets for you too. I'm Rob Cummings. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get into it so we avoid a case of battle fatigue. In this week's Humpday Helper number 159, we have a few little system quirks and process updates from NAB, Bankwest and Macquarie. Firstly, let's start with the AOL issue with the NAB variations deal. We encountered a little-known AOL issue while processing a variation deal with NAB last week. We wanted to increase an existing NAB loan, but extend the term at the same time. Initially, we thought it would need to be processed as a new application, but then worked out that we had to go down the dreaded variations path. So we input all the data in Apply Online and got to the end only to find a massive shortfall in funds of $800,000, which just happened to be the loan amount we were internally refinancing. Checking back through the application, we found that a second loan of $800,000 was being automatically added in as being refinanced with the reference home side, but no security attached. After a bit of rechecking and head scratching, we went to the BDM for guidance. They came back to advise this was a known issue and to simply submit the deal as it was with clear notes on the issue and also email them with the application reference number. They would then have credit make the necessary changes to the application. Would have been far simpler to submit as a new application, but NAB won't let you do that. No, got to be a variation deal. Okay, let's move on to Bankwest. It's now mandatory that upfront valuations are to be ordered via the valuation tool before lodgement of any residential applications to Bankwest. And of course, remember to link the valuation reference number via the application details screen once you have submitted the deal. And finally, pre-approval applications with Macquarie. Ever get those pre-approval applications that meet servicing according to Macquarie's serviceability calculator, only to be auto-rejected by the system? You're not the only one. And the likely reason for this is that the system has picked up something in your application that doesn't meet the standard criteria. Most commonly, this is related to living expenses. Either total living expenses are unusually low overall or in a particular category. For example, groceries listed as $100 a month or no childcare/education expenses with school-age dependents. When this happens, you can request details from the support team via the chat function to understand why it was flagged. These deals haven't necessarily been declined, they just need further clarification or assessment. A bit like an MIR, really. You might have provided commentary explaining the low value, but the system doesn't get to read these. It's all based on algorithms. You'll need to edit and resubmit the application. If you're not changing any details, remove the AIP indicator and add a dummy address so that it refers to credit. Another thing to note, where you have a pre-approval that is likely to get flagged for something that is well out of line to the norm, and not just a minor variation, probably best to remove the AIP indicator and submit as a standard application with a dummy address. Obviously, you won't get an instant response, but it will potentially save you the hassle of rework. Don't forget your supporting comments though. If you're enjoying the podcast, then feel free to jump onto podchaser.com, search Your Broker Admin, where you can leave a review, rate the podcast, or just simply follow us so you don't miss an episode. In this week's reviews wrap-up, we delve into outcomes from loan reviews completed during the week ending the 14th of November 2025. This week we saw 9 loan reviews successfully lead to rate reductions, saving borrowers a combined total of $3,100 in annual interest. What's interesting is that all 9 of those successful reviews involve one of the major lenders, while 7 of those were actually for the same broker, a case of big players and small wins. Now let's talk rate reductions. To be honest, there wasn't a whole lot of excitement in terms of percentages, with all but one review being 0.8% reduction or less, leading to individual savings under $300. The one exception, a standout, comparatively speaking, 0.24% rate discount for an ANZ customer, a marked improvement from nothing last year, resulting in a $1,350 interest saving. So there was at least one bright spot this week. We also had one new lending opportunity, which were referred to the broker with a self-managed super fund client that we spoke with and is looking to purchase a second self-managed super fund property. They will require funding of around $250,000 to $300,000. So hopefully that will turn out to be fruitful for the broker. But here's where it gets a bit more interesting. We had a timely call with a client that was part of a purchase loan book. We did a rate review on their owner-occupied loan, which was sitting at 5.59%. And with the low LVR at 40%, we expected some flexibility from their current lender. However, the response from the lender was a definitive no change, telling the client that this was their best offer. The client wasn't convinced though. They felt confident they could secure a better deal elsewhere and had already been in talks with another broker who had previously helped their brother. The client was also considering a potential investment property purchase up north, or even potentially relocating there. It just so happened that Hervey Bay, one of the areas they were considering, is where our loan reviews officer is located, so we were able to provide them with some inside intel. After we completed the review and made contact, the client then had a lengthy and productive chat with our broker who owns the loan book. While we can't say for certain that this will result in a successful retention or a new loan, at least we gave the broker the opportunity to connect. Without that call, the client could have easily disappeared into the abyss. Needless to say, the broker was pretty pleased that we made the client call when we did. So, some solid outcomes and new opportunities for our brokers, along with some good old-fashioned persistence and relationship building, paying off in client engagement. Until next week, stay tuned and keep those reviews going. Thanks for listening to Your Broker Admin. Drop a rating on Apple Podcasts, throw a review up on Podchaser, or simply leave a comment on Spotify. It helps others find the show. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn to keep the conversation going or share your own process gems. I'm Rob Cummings, and this has been Your Broker Admin, for those who like their process neat.